Lawrence was known as a nature conservationist, but Lawrence loved people. That's not known, but he really loved the people. He worked with community, and then he worked together with the chiefs. His biggest project was to join Zoom for Lozi with Tula Tula. There's going to be a corridor, and fortunately it took him about 15 years working on that. When it's finally coming into place, he's not with us.
Promised Dlamini speaks with great joy and respect of the man who showed him his calling in life. In fact, when Dlamini came to Tula Tula some 7 years ago, he came to work as part of the hospitality staff. But it was Lawrence Anthony's vigor and passion for the bush that led Dlamini down the same path.
No, I'm hooked. You know what they say, once a ranger, always a ranger. Once a bushman, always a bushman. The thing is, it was a great coincidence for me. Coming here, I came here for something different. I'd studied hotel management. I came here for training. On the hospitality side, having spent 2 weeks with Lawrence, it made me fall in love. It was love at first sight. I changed the whole thing. I started studying to be a game ranger.
Dlamini and fellow ranger Andre Benon take me through the lush Tula Tula bush on a warm and sunny day. They're both exceptionally knowledgeable about the bush and the animals that live in it. We pass some zebras on the landing strip and spot a herd of lanky giraffes gracefully scaling the horizon.
Giraffe's head is never down. Even when they drink, they'll only keep it for about 35 seconds because they've got the highest blood pressure of all mammals.
But Dlamini and Benon are eager to come across Anthony's famous herd of elephants. Known as the Elephant Whisperer, Anthony is known for his rescue of a group of elephants who'd escaped the enclosure and were wreaking havoc across KwaZulu-Natal. They were about to be culled, but Anthony staged a rescue and rehabilitated them at his reserve. This herd occupies pride of place at Tula Tula to this day. Dlamini tells of that special moment when Anthony connected with the then matriarch of the elephant herd.
One day, the matriarch, then, her name is Nana, she put her trunk out when they were still in the boma, and it got close. I mean, it was a sign of trust, getting close to an animal, such a huge animal, and she sniffed him, and then she walked back.
And he says Anthony's death was a great loss to his elephants as well.
About 3 days after his passing, the whole herd went up to main house, and the behavior wasn't very good. They weren't allowing cars to come in. They were a little bit aggressive, and actually surrounded the whole area, even the workshop.
Up the hills and through the plains, the rangers shared anecdotal tales, laughing and speaking with respect about the animals that they say they love spending all day with.
They've also got a long gestation period, about 16 months.
A man's got much broader horns, and he's bald on top. Female's got thin horns, and she's got fluffy hair like a painting brush. The reason why the males don't have hair is because they practice what's known as necking. That's when they fight. They stand alongside each other and they hit each other with their horns. So from doing that, they lose their hair.
They say the males have a lot of stress from the females. That's why they go bald.
And then we come upon the elephant that rangers at Tula Tula call Lawrence's elephant, Nana. She's busy chewing away on some tree leaves with a young elephant calf, Lolo, at her side. We approach her slowly, weary of the dominant and possessive male Ngobese lingering in the distance. It's clear there's something special about Nana that makes a person silent and still.
Notice how to tell her apart. She's got only one tusk, and then unfortunately she also grew a cataract over one of her eyes, so she's also blinded in the one eye.
So this is Lawrence's elephant?
Yes, this is the main one.
And this is his favorite. He loved this one.
Looking over Nana with pride, Dlamini recalls how Anthony would speak to her.
Oh, you Mababas, how many trees have you broken today? Are the bulls treating you well? She's 43 now.
After his death, Anthony's ashes were scattered at a dam on his reserve, a place where Dlamini says Anthony could often be found.
Every afternoon he'd be there watching birds and everything, just appreciating nature. We thought it would be nice if we take his ashes and sprinkle it around the dam, because he loved the dam.
Driving through the majestic bush, it's clear that Anthony's spirit lives on in the place where he called home and in the staff who continue to work and live his legacy. Rangers like Benon and Dlamini live their love for the bush, as Anthony did until the day he died. And it seems that there are not many differences between human beings and animals after all.
She leads the head. The head of elephants is led by a female, just like human.
Minoshni Pillay, SABC News, Durban.
Ons winkels hier, joh.